Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some market list news. This is now regarding a bit more information now on Liverpool's Emre Can, because we know Emre Can comes to an end of his deal at the end of the season with Liverpool Football Club, but I think Liverpool are reluctant and are resisted to offload Emre Can in January especially, but he says it's looking likely he's going to see out his current deal. He's going to see out his deal, and he's going to become a free transfer next summer. So he's going to be available on a free transfer next summer. But reportedly now, press are reporting City have entered the race now, supposedly for Emre Can, because we know Juventus have been heavily linked with Emre Can, and considering the amount of money Manchester City spent, considering the amount of money that Manchester City spent in August, on fullbacks alone and on quite a few players as well, and doing very, very well this season. But there's still Guardiola's still looking to get quite a few players into his team as well. Supposedly they've looked into Emre Can, because we know City have done business with Liverpool before, because you saw it with the Raheem Sterling deal back in 2015. It was, I think, City had paid £49 million for Raheem Sterling for Liverpool as well. But Liverpool may not be prepared to offload him in January to cash in on him. But I think Can is going to see out his deal, and he's going to become a free transfer next summer, as I currently said, because basically he still says he's fully committed to Liverpool. As I said, he classified Juventus' interest as an honour, and it did confirm the other day, what did it? It confirmed that the contract talks have currently stalled between Liverpool and Emre Can in the current process. So it's saying now City preparing to go for Emre Can as well in the current process. But it did confirm the contract talks are stalled between Liverpool and Emre Can. So reportedly, he's been actually, demanding a release clause, for Liverpool to sign a new deal. I think he's also been demanding a higher wage. I think he's been demanding a wage increase as well as Emre Can. Supposedly Liverpool have not paid to us, and Liverpool have been in the process for quite a long time of trying to secure Emre Can a new deal. He's not having, and Liverpool have failed to do this, so he could see out and leave on a free transfer next summer. And this is what the press are reporting, because City, spent quite a lot of money over the last few years at least. A very, very rich club. As I said, they're looking basically to try to get the Premier League. Because they haven't won the Premier League since 2014. They want to win the Premier League title. They've won 5 honours basically since 2011, and then they've won 5 honours since 2011. Premier League in 2012, Premier League 2014, and City are still looking to add more ranks into their squad. Considering they've got a fantastic squad as it stands at the moment, they're still looking to add more ranks in. But it did say City are in the race now for Emre Can in the current process, but it's also said Juventus. They're the team that's been heavily linked to him. He's coming to an end of his deal, as I said. He's looking likely he's not going to sign a new deal. It has confirmed Juventus have been in talks with Liverpool. They've also approached Emre Can's representatives in the current process, so he could well leave Liverpool on a free transfer next summer. I think he's nearly hit 150 appearances now for Liverpool. He's hit definitely over 100 appearances now since he's been at Liverpool. Liverpool purchased him for nearly £10 million from Bayer Leverkusen. He's also an ex-Bayern Munich graduate as well, where he'd risen up the youth system fantastic well, and Guardiola's targeting him because he feels as though he'd be very, very good for Guardiola, because his versatility is good. He can also play as a full-back, because City is still after a full-back. He can play as defensive mid, and he can play as a centre-back as well. Can Emre Can, very, very good for Germany as well. So supposedly City are in the race for Emre Can as well. But so Liverpool could well see him go, but I don't think Liverpool are prepared to sanction him off in January, unless City do come in January and put an offer out for Emre Can before his deal before his current contract comes to a conclusion. City may have an offer go in January and offer to go on and get Emre Can rather than wait on a free next summer. But there's been a lot of City have got quite a few players on their agenda. Sanchez still on agenda, Benjamin Mendy's still on their agenda as well. Because as I was saying, about the Benjamin Mendy situation, Manchester City have supposedly showed an interest in him. Not Benjamin Mendy, sorry, Ryan Bertrand, should I say. Ryan Bertrand have been interesting because City have been interesting for the last couple of years. Reportedly, Manchester City have been scouting for the last couple of years, and Pep Guardiola thinks he could be a key target, for Manchester City, Ryan Bertrand, because he's highly experienced. He's got Champions League experience as well with Chelsea, because he was at Chelsea, a good 10 years. But obviously City have got Benjamin Mendy injured. One of their summer signings was Benjamin Mendy from Monaco, but he's currently injured, so could he could be out for the most of the season, could Benjamin Mendy. But apparently City have showed their interest in Ryan Bertrand. It's been reported in the press quite a few times. We know Ryan Bertrand's made over the century appearance now, definitely. We know he started his youth career with Gillingham. He joined Chelsea in 2005, and he graduated from Chelsea's youth system, risen up the ranks fantastically well. Ryan Bertrand, he was at quite a few teams on loan. Was Ryan Bertrand? He made his senior debut for Chelsea in 2011, made his England international senior debut in 2012, and as I said, become the first player to make his debut in the Champions League as well. Ryan Bertrand made his debut for Chelsea in Champions League final, with Chelsea's success to the Champions League as well. And he was at Chelsea about a good 10 years or so now. He's at Southampton now. I think he's been at Southampton 2 or 3 years. But attacking instinct, very, very good. Defensive distribution, good. Distinctive in his play, very, very good. And City think he could fit. So it's reportedly said that Pep Guardiola may make a move for Ryan Bertrand in the January window as well. And but also, you've got the press that have been reporting now, as I said, about Philip Coutinho. Reportedly now, as I do keep saying, as I updated you yesterday, reportedly the Spanish media outlet are reporting that supposedly Real Madrid have entered the race now for Philip Coutinho, because Real Madrid are a big, massive club. You've seen over the years, they've got a fantastic history, a big fan base, just like Barcelona. And basically, Real Madrid were not clearly satisfied with their August window, because they did sell quite a few players and generate quite a bit of money. But Real Madrid have still got quite a few players on the agenda. Supposedly still Cane's on their agenda. Now supposedly they've entered the race for Philip Coutinho. Real Madrid have got quite a few players on their radar as well. But yeah, as I was saying, Philip Coutinho, supposedly Real Madrid have entered the race. It's said that Real Madrid has supposedly been in contact with Liverpool. They've been in discussions with Liverpool. But Real Madrid are supposedly only interested in making a move for Philip Coutinho next summer rather than go for him in January. So what he's saying is Real Madrid would rather go for him next summer rather than go for him in January in the courses. But Barcelona want to still get a deal over the line for Coutinho in January as well. I think Barcelona have alternative targets if they do fail to get the pursuit of Coutinho, because obviously we know Coutinho's on top of their agenda, as we all know. But supposedly Real Madrid, have showed an interest, as I said, in Coutinho. But as I said, PSG have been interested. They're the team that invested a lot of money in the August window, so they've made the headlines, with the Neymar deal. Maybe Neymar would want to see Coutinho go to Paris Saint-Germain, but he did say he was willing to turn down the January switch to Paris Saint-Germain. Real Madrid is tempting for Coutinho as well, because, big, massive club. So too a Barcelona, big, massive club, but Coutinho's already made it clear he would prefer the move to Barcelona in the January window. And Coutinho's representatives basically confirmed that his representatives had confirmed that Liverpool are basically willing to offload Coutinho for around about £135 million in January as well. But Coutinho's done well, this season, since he's recovered from his injury, in the early part of the season when he had that back injury. Coutinho's performed very, very well. He's made over a century appearances. And I think he made 143 appearances, scored 36 goals for Liverpool in the Premier League. And since he's been at Liverpool, he's become one of the most creative, agile midfielders, very distinct in his play. Ex-Inter Milan player, ex-Espanyol player. So he has had experience of playing in Spain as Philip Coutinho as well. But part of the same, Real Madrid are supposedly being interested in the player. But with Barcelona, I think Barcelona can do it, because they did get Luis Suarez from Liverpool in the past as well, didn't they? Barcelona, but obviously Barcelona are targeting Philip Coutinho as a long-term replacement for Iniesta, who's obviously got a lifetime contract extension with Barcelona as well. But yeah, Coutinho's still under contract with Liverpool until 2022, as we all know. Barcelona couldn't get a deal over the line, in the August window due to that Liverpool owners, Emre Sport, and the board were not willing to accept any bids from Barcelona. This is why Barcelona didn't get a deal over the line. But as I said, the press are reporting that Real Madrid have entered the race, because Real Madrid, as I said, they've got supposedly Caen still on their agenda. They may be willing to let Bale go. Now they're in Coutinho. They still got that. They still had that long-standing interest in our goalkeeper David De Gea as well. Real Madrid. But I think Coutinho could make the move in January. But Liverpool obviously are going to have to find alternative replacements. As I said, they're going to have to find alternative replacements, and they can generate the Coutinho money and maybe get a couple of good world-class players, to add depth, add character and strengthen their team up a little bit. And I said they should have let Coutinho go in the August window, but it never ever materialised in the current process. But I think with that money, Liverpool, are definitely going to revive their interest in Virgil van Dijk, because that was their main priority target during the August window, because Liverpool were actually preparing to put £70 million in, but you can't really blame Liverpool, because, Southampton were reluctant and were resisted, to offload Virgil van Dijk. They wasn't willing to offload him. He signed a 6-year deal back in May 2016. He made his international debut in 2015 as well, did Virgil van Dijk. And that was Liverpool's main priority target. But we know there've been quite a few teams interested in him. With Southampton, he's a very, very good defender with Southampton. He's not going to be winning trophies. He's not going to, be challenging. But even with Liverpool, he probably wouldn't be. But he's still going to a bigger club than Southampton, if he went to Liverpool, Virgil van Dijk. He did want to make the move, I think, but Liverpool added their interest back in June due to Southampton classifying something as an illegal approach. Apologies are being made anyway. And we know he'd been injured for quite a long time, Virgil van Dijk, but Liverpool definitely need to strengthen their defensive area up. And also, I think, Liverpool I've had a few interesting, quite a few players. They've reportedly been interested in the Timo Werner from RP Leipzig, as well as mentioned to you on quite a few occasions, because reportedly Bayern Munich have been interested in him. The RP Leipzig president had come out basically the other day and denied Bayern Munich's interest, because Bayern Munich had been reportedly been interested in Timo Werner, but the RP Leipzig president had denied Bayern Munich's interest. He said there'd been no inquiries or no offers or approach from Bayern Munich for him. But he did say Liverpool have been interested in him, because Liverpool may be looking to still add another attacker. They need a goal scorer to Liverpool. They need a good finisher. And Timo Werner's a very, very good young prospect. So he did say he supported Manchester United as a youngster. He said he'd dream of a move to Man United. I think this is his second season across RP Leipzig. 21 appearances last season, 21 goals in 32 appearances last season. And he also helped RP Leipzig qualify for the first time. He helped RP Leipzig qualify for the Champions League for the first time in their history as well. We know he's an ex-Stuttgart player. He did very, very well with Stuttgart. Made his Stuttgart debut in the Europa League at just the age of 17 years of age as well, and made his first Bundesliga appearance against Bayer Leverkusen. Scored his first goal against Frankfurt. During his time in the club, became the youngest player to make 50 appearances as well. Timo Werner, at 18 he signed a professional contract with them until 2018 as well. Did Timo Werner, then got relegated with Stuttgart basically, I think 2016 time, and then RP Leipzig purchased him for £10 million. I think he's under contract with RP Leipzig till 2020, but fantastic young age prospect. Reportedly Liverpool have been interested in him as well. But talking about Barcelona, they have got quite a few players on their agenda. I think Coutinho's their top, but if they don't, Barcelona don't get Coutinho, I think they've got some alternatives. As I said, there's been Thomas Lemar mentioned, they've been interested. Even Angel Gomez from us have been interested in him. Also, the latest reports have been interested in Harry Winks as well. And as I did update you about that earlier on, the Harry Winks situation, he's a product of Tottenham's youth system. He's Harry Winks. as I said, is a product of Tottenham's youth system, Harry Winks. Reportedly, Barcelona have been scouting Harry Winks. They've reportedly scouted Christian Eriksen before from Tottenham as well. But reportedly, they've been scouting Harry Winks, and he was very, very impressive, in Tottenham's victory, against Real Madrid by 3-1. Reportedly, Barcelona have been scouting Harry Winks in the process. I think for Tottenham, he's made about 20 odd appearances and 29 appearances, scored 1 goal for Tottenham as well. But he does look a pretty decent player. But reportedly, Barcelona I've showed an interest in him as well. But I think reportedly Tottenham are in the process of offering him a new deal with Tottenham Hotspur, and Tottenham I think Tottenham as well are willing to double his current wages if he is to sign a new deal with Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Harry Winks, I think he's under contract with Tottenham until 2022 because he signed a new deal with Tottenham back in February 2017 as well. But yeah, since making his first team he made his first team debut in the Europa League for Tottenham in 2014. He made his Premier League debut in August 2016. He scored his first goal against West Ham as well. Did the current play? That was his first ever goal, I think, for Spurs. He made his FA Cup debut in January 2017 as well. Did Harry Winks in the current process. But yeah, reportedly Barcelona were very, very impressed with his performances. I've been impressed with his performances, and reportedly Barcelona have showed an interest in Harry Winks as well. And reportedly Lamar's been an alternative as well, because Barcelona have expressed a strong interest in Thomas Lemar as well. As I said, that was Arsenal's main priority target was Thomas Lemar. Liverpool had been interested in him in August as well, because obviously Liverpool would eyeing him out as a replacement for Coutinho, Thomas Lemar, because Lemar can play as attacking mid, he can play on each flank as well. But reportedly, Arsenal had 2 bids rejected for him, in the August window. Liverpool had 2 bids rejected for him because Monaco were reluctant and were resistant to offload the player. Reportedly, it said last week, Arsenal was still scouting, they'd been scouting the current player, watching Thomas Lemar in action, but very, very good player indeed. I think this is his 3rd season now in the process with Monaco. I think he's still under contract with them. I think he's still got 3 years left or 4 years left on his deal. But very, very good for fans. Very, very good young age prospect indeed is Thomas Lemar in the current process. But as said, I do really, really like him. But I think Arsenal has not ruled a move out for him, and Arsenal could go for him in January. But the Monaco president, they confirmed he's likely to leave Monaco next summer. So I think there'll be a few teams that will go for him as well. So I think there'll be a few teams that'll definitely go for him as well. But he's not ruled a move out. But reportedly, he's on Barcelona's agenda as well. He's Thomas Lemar, and as I was saying, Arsenal are identifying him. Arsenal are identifying Lemar. They've got quite a few players on the agenda, for replacement for Alexis Sanchez, because Alexis Sanchez is viewed to sign a new deal. He's coming to an end of his deal with. Arsenal Football Club. Alexis Sanchez. He's not going to be signing a new deal, but Arsene Wenger has insisted Sanchez is happy at Arsenal, and actually Arsene Wenger is convinced that Sanchez actually will see out his deal, and then he'll become a free transfer next summer. But in the process, said Arsenal would rather cash him rather than let him go on a free next summer. But being a lot of teams, he was demanding a higher wage from Arsenal, wasn't he, Alexis Sanchez? He was demanding a higher wage from Arsenal. It was also, if he was to go to Paris, I think he was demanding in the region of wages of about £500,000 a week from Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain were not willing to pay that, or was it £400,000 a week in the process? But as I said, there's been a lot of teams. Real Madrid have even been interested in Sanchez as well before Paris Saint-Germain. Manchester City have still been emerging as front runners, to go on and get Alexis Sanchez. AC Milan, Manchester United have had a slight interest in. Reportedly, it said recently Everton have been interested. They're willing to put £30 million in for him, but he's not going to go to Everton, I don't think. Even though Sanchez will be available for £20 or £30 million in January if Arsenal prepared to cash in on him, which I think they would rather than let him go on a free next summer. But with Everton, he hasn't got Champions League football. He won't have any Champions League football. He's not going to be challenging for trophies. And Sanchez demanded in the August window that he wanted Champions League football in the current process. And City they could have cashed 50, 60 million pound in for Sanchez, couldn't they, at Arsenal in the August window, but this didn't materialise. This didn't materialise. 60 million was accepted initially, but Arsenal couldn't find that replacement. There were talks about Sterling as part of the deal, but City were reluctant and were resisted to offload Raheem Sterling as well. But yeah, we know that we know that Sanchez is on City's agenda. I think he's still favourite to go to Manchester City, to be honest, because Sanchez was fantastic with Pep Guardiola at Barcelona. Arsenal purchased him £35 million. He's won 3 FA Cups in 4 seasons. But yeah, City have got Ryan Bertrand on their agenda. Now reportedly Emre Can, and Sanchez as well. City have been interested in Sanchez basically. We know the majority for quite a while, even during the August window. Since August, basically, Manchester City have been interested in Alexis Sanchez. But yeah, so City, considering the amount of money they spent in August and all that, and the amount of money they spent in the last 3-4 years, they're still considering to spend more and more money. Manchester City, because basically they haven't won the league since 2014. We haven't won the league since 2013. But I want us to get it this season. Hopefully, I think it's going to be between us and Manchester City. Definitely. Chelsea could be still in mix, but they're fading away a little bit. But yeah, I was saying, I think Sanchez is still City's main priority target to go for in January. But he did report the other day City would rather wait until next summer to get him on a free rather than pay 20 or 30 million pound for him in January as well. But ex-Londonese player, fantastic number 7. As I said, versatility, very, very good as well as Alexis Sanchez. He's made about 110 appearances, scored 54 goals for Arsenal. But yeah, and he's won honours where he's been. He was fantastic with Barcelona, was Sanchez, and yeah, very, very good indeed. And Mesut Ozil, could that be possibly, as I keep saying, could that possibly, be Manchester United's next signing, Mesut Ozil in the current process? It could be Man United's next signing, could Mesut Ozil, as it is. He's been linked with Manchester United for the past 3-4 weeks now. Mesut Ozil's been linked with a move to Old Trafford, because he did reportedly tell his teammates, he did reportedly tell his teammates, Ozil, that he was what he wanted to join Man United. There were talks saying, was he playing for the move? Reportedly, he's been advised to see out his deal as Ozil to secure a move to Manchester United. So he basically confirmed that Ozil's team were confident that we wanted to sign him on a free transfer next summer, Ozil, rather than pay for him in January. So could he be Manchester United's next signing? Possible. Could it be Manchester United's next signing with Griezmann? I don't know, but could be. But Ozil, as I said, I think he'd be good at Man United. He can create chances, he can provide assists. Jose Mourinho classifies him, as a fantastic number 10. Mesut Ozil, strong, quick, good in the air. Very, very good playmaker indeed. He's made over century appearances now for Arsenal Football Club. I think this is his 5th season in the process, because it's Arsenal's second most expensive signing. Arsenal paid £42.5 million for him from Real Madrid. Yes, and Jose Mourinho was fantastic with Mesut Ozil at Real Madrid, wasn't he? He was fantastic with Mesut Ozil at Real Madrid. Was Jose Mourinho, made over century appearances there. Won honours there as well. Mesut Ozil was also in the Bundesliga for 5 years, but reportedly, Arsenal are nowhere near in the process of securing Ozil a new deal. It did confirm quite a few weeks ago now that the contract talks have stalled between Arsenal and Ozil, and all that the contract talks stalled. And supposedly he has been demanding a wage increase from Arsenal as well as Mesut Ozil in the current process. But reportedly he has been linked with Man United for quite a while. There has been other teams interested. He's been in Milan, past interested in him. Besiktas has reportedly been interested in him as well. But he did say if he does leave Arsenal, he wants to join a big team. Does Mesut Ozil as well in the current process. But going to a bit more news, as I updated you the other day on a bit of transfer rumours as well, because I think, Man United still need a creative winner. Man United presumably still need a left back if Luke Shaw goes. But yeah, as I did report to you guys, what would I say the other day, this was regarding Moussa Dembele and Kieran Turner from Celtic. Reportedly, it has said numerous teams have been interested in both players from Celtic. It reportedly said that Tottenham had been keeping a close eye out on Kieran Turner. They're closely been monitoring the player. Tottenham, they'd been scouting the player as well, because obviously Tottenham are identifying him as a replacement for Danny Rose, maybe because Danny Rose's future is uncertain with Tottenham. He's been linked with a move to Old Trafford as Danny Rose. And also, we've been interested in Kieran Turner as well. It's also said Arsenal have been mentioned. But we may be even seeing Kieran Turner as a replacement for Luke Shaw. As well in the current process, but reportedly it did say both players, Moussa Dembele and Kieran Turner, could cost up to £50 million for both players as well. But it's saying quite a lot of teams have been interested, but they're both fantastic prospects. Reportedly, loads of teams have been interested in Kieran Turner and Moussa Dembele, but Kieran Turner, Tottenham supposedly have been interested in him. Man United have been interested in him as well. This thing put my phone on charge. But Kieran Turner is a player that's been in the Celtic first team for quite a few years now. You know, he made his international debut, did Kieran Turner in 2000 and I think it was 2016. Kieran Turner had made his international debut. He's made 8 senior appearances for Scotland as well. He's just recently signed a 6-year deal with Celtic as well as the current player. Yeah, he just recently signed a 6-year deal with Celtic as a Kieran Turner in the current process. But we know he risen up Celtic's youth system, you know, fantastically well. He signed for Celtic, you know, when he was 7 years old, so he has been there since he was 7 years old. He made his competitive senior debut in April 2015 for Celtic. 2015-16, he enjoyed a breakout season, you know, playing in over 30 games. In October 2016, he'd been injured, you know, a couple of months, so that I'd seen him out of action. But in August 2017, he was named captain, you know, for Celtic, you know, due to his fantastic performances for Celtic. But he's a fantastic player, guys, by all means. And he's one of the... He's a fantastic generated left back as well, and also the same with Moussa Dembele as well. Reportedly, Man United have been interested in him. He'd look good in the mix, you know, alongside Rashford, Lukaku, and all that. I think he'd complement, you know, I think he'd complement Lukaku and all that, and Rashford and Martial would Moussa Dembele. But he's become one of the brightest prospects in Europe as Moussa Dembele. And during his time with Celtic, he's been you know, absolutely phenomenal as the current player. He's in his last season, I think this is his second season in the process. He scored 32 goals in all competitions for Celtic. He's got a deal with Celtic until 2020. I think he's got a deal with Celtic until 2020. Also, you know, won the domestic treble with Celtic last season as well, was part of the squad, obviously. So too was Kieran Turner. And I think Celtic have won the Scottish... I think they've won the Scottish Championship about is it 48 times, something like that. They've won the Scottish League Cup 16 times, Celtic. You know, they're dominant for Scottish League Cup 16 times. I think they've won the Scottish Championship about 48 times. And I think they've won the Scottish Cup about 37 times as well of Celtic. So they are the dominant force in Scotland. But this is why Celtic may be reluctant and resisted to offload Kieran Turner and Moussa Dembele. But Moussa Dembele is fantastic. It'd be good to see him come back to the Premier League because he has got Premier League experience as well as Moussa Dembele, as we all know. He scored back-to-back hat-tricks with Celtic. He scored back-to-back hat-tricks in February 2017. In his first derby, you know, scored a hat-trick against Rangers as well. And we know he risen up the ranks with Paris Saint-Germain, joined Fulham in 2012 at the age of 16. I think it was age 16 or 17 as well, becoming regularly for the under-18s team. In his first season, won their Premier Academy League as well, made his senior debut for Fulham in 2013 as well, and then went on till 2016 with Fulham and scored 19 goals in 64 competitive matches. So very, very impressive indeed, and there's been quite a few teams interested in them as well. And during his time at Celtic, you know, he has been absolutely fantastic, as I said, in the current process. So. But going back to what I was saying, yes, Barcelona, the Emre Can situation. Reportedly, City have now entered the race for Emre Can. Got into a bit more detail about it. City have done business with Liverpool before. City, you know, purchased Sterling for £49 million. I think this is his third season in the process with City. He's made a massive impact, you know, since he's been at Manchester City as Raheem Sterling in the process. But yeah, reportedly interesting. It did confirm that the contract talks have stalled between Liverpool and Emre Can and all that. Juventus have approached his representatives as well, Emre Can's. So we know it's been Juventus have been heavily linked with Emre Can in the current. Have been linked with Emre Can in the current process, but yeah, he comes to an end of his deal at the end of the season. Does Emre Can. But yes, talking about, Man United, talking about Luke Shaw, as I said, we may be seeing Kieran Tierney as a replacement, for Luke Shaw, because obviously, Jose Mourinho's showed a few interest in quite a few left backs as well. But Luke Shaw reportedly now is allowed to leave Manchester. He's allowed to leave Manchester United in January as well as Luke Shaw. I think he's allowed to leave on a loan deal. There may be quite a few teams interested. There were talks about him maybe making a return to Southampton. There could be even talks about him there may be even a swap deal involved between Danny Rose and Luke Shaw as well. But Luke Shaw said he made his England international debut in 2014. We purchased him for £29 million Southampton back in 2014. This is his fourth season in pro. He did say, Luke Shaw feels his career could be over after a breakdown in relation with Jose Mourinho. Him and Jose Mourinho had a fallout. But he could still have a long-term future at Manchester United, if we let him on loan in January. We could still cash in on Luke Shaw in the summer. I think his current deal ends in 2018, but we have an option to put a 1-year extension on that, which would take his contract until 2019 as well, Luke Shaw's. Mourinho gave him a lot of criticism last season, especially. And Luke Shaw, you can tell, he wants to make the exit because, he's frustrated, is Luke Shaw, with the lack of game time he's getting with Man United. He's only participated in the Carabao Cup this season against Burton and the Swansea game, 45 minutes of the Burton game. Just 3 or 4 minutes of the Swansea game as well, so you can tell Luke Shaw is frustrated, and he's our 4th or 5th choice left back now under Jose Mourinho. And we know he's injury prone. We know Luke Shaw is known for injuries as well. But potentially, we could still even, Pochettino maybe, keen on reuniting with Luke Shaw, because Luke Shaw used to work with Pochettino, during his time with Southampton. Luke Shaw as well used to work with Pochettino before, obviously, Pochettino went to Tottenham. But yeah, we could still get Danny Rose, possibly. We could still go for Danny Rose in January, because he said he were willing to turn Tottenham down. Not Tottenham. Willing to turn Chelsea down and make a move to Man United. So Danny Rose's future is uncertain. So Tottenham are identifying some replacements at left back for Danny Rose, because his future is uncertain. And same with Man United. Luke Shaw's future is uncertain. So we're trying to identify a few replacements for Luke Shaw as well in the current process. So anyway, guys, that's everything to do today. Drop your comments, like, on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe to my channel as always, and take it easy, guys, and I'll see you all later. Take care.